A little progress each day adds up to big result. Feeling motivated? So let's start. Today we are going to talk about the basic anatomy and the landmarks of the tooth. So let's begin. As we all know that each tooth has two portions, a crown portion and a root portion. A crown portion of a tooth is the portion which we can see in the oral cavity, and a root portion is embedded in the bony socket of the jaw. So where a crown and a root meet, that junction is called cemento-enamel junction and also the cervical line. Now, why this junction is called cemento-enamel junction? Crown is covered with enamel. The outermost layering of a crown is enamel, whereas the outermost covering of a root is cementum. So, the junction where tooth and crown is meeting is where the outermost covering of root, that is cementum, and the outermost covering of the crown, that is enamel, are meeting. So that's why this is called cemento enamel junction. Now let's talk about the pulp cavity. The pulp cavity of a tooth is divided into two portions, the pulp chamber and the pulp canal. Now, chamber is mainly present in the crown portion of the tooth, and the pulp canal is present in the root. So collectively, this is the open space, continuous open space, and collectively they are known as the pulp cavity. Now, the tooth is formed of four tissues. The tissues of tooth can be hard and soft. The hard tissue of the tooth are enamel, dentine, and cementum, and soft tissue is pulp. As you can see in the picture, the crown, the root, the bony socket where tooth is embedded, the dentine, the pulp cavity, which is the pulp chamber in the crown portion, and the pulp canal in the root portion can be seen. Now, root of a tooth can be single or multiple. A tooth can be single rooted with a single apex or a multiple apex, or they can be multiple rooted. And the the root portion of a tooth is firmly fixed in the bony process of a jaw, known as alveolar process. Now, where the root portion of a tooth is fixed, it is known as the alveolar process. Now let's move on to another slide. Moving on, the teeth present in the oral cavity can either be divided into anterior teeth or posterior teeth. Anterior teeth are those teeth which are present anterior, आगे की तरफ, and the posterior teeth are those teeth which are present posteriorly, that is पीछे की तरफ. So which are the anterior teeth? Anterior teeth are the central incisor, lateral incisor, and canine. And posterior teeth are the first and the second premolar, first and the second molar, and the third molar. Now, after finding out the position of teeth in the oral cavity, that is either the teeth is present anteriorly in the oral cavity or posteriorly, let's talk about the surface of a tooth. Incisor and canine have four surfaces, while premolar and molar has five surfaces. Now, these surfaces are named according to their position and use. Those surfaces which face towards the lip in the case of incisor and canine are known as labial surface. ये surface lip की towards face करती हैं, and those surface जो cheek की towards face करती हैं in the case of premolar and molar are known as buccal surface. And collectively, labial and the buccal surface are known as the facial surface. As you can see in the picture, the facial surface are clearly marked. And वो सारी surfaces जो tongue की तरफ face करती है उन्हें we call as lingual surfaces. All surface facing towards the tongue are known as lingual surface, as you can see in this picture. Surface that come in contact with those in the opposite jaw during the act of closure. Now, while we close a mouth, the teeth of the opposite jaws come in contact with each other, and the surfaces of those teeth that come in contact with each other are called occlusal surface in premolars and molars, and incisal surface in incisors and canine. As you can see in the picture, the incisal surface are present in incisors and canines, and the occlusal surface are present in the premolars and molars, and they are marked with the blue color. Before we move on to proximal surface, I want to add that the incisal surface of incisors and canine are considered a ridge. So, the crown of incisor and canine has four surfaces and a ridge, and the crown of premolar and molar has five surfaces. So now let's move on to proximal and proximate surface. What are these surfaces? These surface of the teeth which face towards the adjoining teeth in the same dental arch. So in the same dental arch, the two teeth which are facing towards each other and the surface which are facing the adjoining teeth is known as the proximal or the proximate surface. Now, these surface can be mesial or distal in reference to the medial line of the face. Now, what is the medial line of the face? It is the line that is drawn vertically through the center of the face, passing between the center incisor at their point of contact with each other in both maxilla and mandible. So this is the line that is drawn in the center of the face between the contact point of the maxillary and the mandibular center incisor. Now, if the surface is facing towards the medial line, then it is called the mesial surface, and if the surface is distant from the medial line, then it is called the distal surface, as you can see in the picture. Now there are four teeth in the oral cavity, those whose mesial surface contact each other. Now these teeth are the maxillary and the mandibular center incisor. Except these, in all other instances, the mesial surface of one tooth come in contact with the distal surface of an adjacent tooth, except the distal surface of the third molar in permanent teeth and the distal surface of the second molar in the deciduous teeth, because उससे पीछे और कोई tooth present नहीं होता oral cavity में. Contact area is nothing but the area of the mesial or distal surface of the tooth that touches its neighbor in the arch. So when the two neighbor teeth are contacting either on the mesial or on the distal surface, so the area where they are contacting with each other is known as contact area. In anterior teeth, this area is present in the incisal third of the tooth, and in the posterior teeth, the area is present near the middle third, as you can see in the picture. Now let's talk about the other landmark of a tooth. First, let's talk about cusp. Now, what is a cusp? It is an elevation or mold on the crown portion of a teeth. So, when you look at a teeth or a tooth from the occlusal surface, you see that the tooth is never, occlusal surface is never flat. There are some elevations or mold you can see. So these elevations are known as cusp, and they make up the divisional part of the occlusal surface. So they divide the occlusal surface. Cusp is pyramidal in structure, and a cusp has four surfaces and four ridges. Cusp is composed of enamel, dentine, and a pulp horn. All the three tissues of the tooth are present in the cusp. Canine, popularly known as cuspid, has one cusp. Premolars has two cusps. Molars has four or five cusps, and incisor do not have any cusp. As you can see in the picture, the cusp can be easily seen. Next come tubercle. Now, tubercle is a small elevation on some portion of the crown. Now the cusp was also the elevation or mold, and tubercle is also a small elevation. But this elevation can be seen in any portion of the crown. You can see it on the lingual side, you can see on the buccal surface or on the occlusal surface. And the tubercle is formed by the extra formation of enamel. When some extra enamel is formed, it accumulate on some surface of the tooth and that give rise to tubercle. Some common sites where a tubercle can be seen is the palatal surface of the maxillary first permanent molar, maxillary second deciduous molar, and cusp of carabali are some common examples where you can see the tubercle. Now there is a major difference between a tubercle and a cusp. As you both know, they are the elevations on the crown. But what is this different? The tubercle is composed only and only of enamel, whereas a cusp is composed of enamel, dentine and pulp. You can see in the picture a tubercle can be seen on the palatal surface of the maxillary first molar. Now, what is cingulum? Cingulum is lingual lobe of an anterior tooth. It is present on the lingual surface of the anterior tooth and it is found on the cervical third of the tooth. So, it make up the bulk of the cervical third of the lingual surface. It present as a convexity mesiodistally. So it is convex mesiodistally and this convexity mesiodistally resembles a griddle encircling the lingual surface on the cervical third as you can see in the picture. Now next is the ridge. What is a ridge? It is a linear elevation on the surface of a tooth. Ridge is present as a linear elevation. Ridge is named according to its location. So according to its location, it is named as buccal ridge, incisal ridge or marginal ridge. Now what is buccal ridge? Buccal ridge is present at the center of the buccal surface of the premolar as you can see in the picture, and it runs from the cervical end to the occlusal margin. So buccal ridge runs cervico-occlusally approximately in the center of the buccal surface of the premolar as you can see in the picture. Labial ridge is seen in the canine on the labial surface of the canine. It also runs cervico-occlusally in the center of the labial surface of the canine as you can see in the picture. Incisal ridge. It is the portion of the crown which make up the complete incisal surface of anterior teeth. As you can see in the picture, the entire incisal surface is taken or made up by the incisal ridge. So it is present in all anterior teeth and the functioning of the ridge is sharing or cutting of food during the chewing. So the incisal surface is not considered surface in the anterior teeth, but it is considered a ridge. Now let's move on to marginal ridges. What are they? They are the rounded border of enamel that forms the mesial and distal margin. So what they are nothing but the rounded border जो mesial and distal margin form करते हैं tooth का, of the occlusal surface of premolar and molar and of the lingual surface of incisor and canine. So they basically form the mesial and the distal margin of the on the occlusal surface of premolar and molar and of the lingual surface of incisor and canine. As you can see in the picture, the area marked by the red line show us the marginal ridge of the anterior and the posterior teeth. Next come another type of ridge known as triangular ridge. Triangular ridge descends from the tip of the cusp of molar and premolar towards the center part of the occlusal surface. So first the triangular ridge is present in molars and premolars and ये cusp के tip से descend होती है towards the occlusal surface, center part of the occlusal surface. Why it is called a triangular ridge? Because the slope of east side of the ridge, जो slope है east side of the ridge के, they are inclined, वो एक दूसरे के प्रति ऐसे inclined हैं कि they resemble two sides of the triangle. So it seems that a triangle is formed. So that's why it is known as a triangular ridge, and they are named after the cusp to which they belong. So जिस cusp के tip से ये triangular ridge descend होती हैं, उस cusp के नाम पर we give name to this triangular ridge. As in the picture you can see the ridge of the buccal cusp of the maxillary first premolar. So it is known as the triangular ridge of the buccal cusp of the maxillary first premolar. Transverse ridge. They are also found in the posterior teeth. Now, what happened? When a buccal and the lingual triangular ridge join and they cross the occlusal surface transversely, they form the transverse ridge. So, it is nothing but the union of two triangular ridges transversely crossing the occlusal surface of a posterior teeth. As you can see in the picture, a transverse ridge is seen in the premolar where the buccal triangular ridge and the lingual triangular ridge are meeting, and transversely they are crossing the occlusal surface. There is one more kind of ridge known as oblique ridge, and they are seen on the occlusal surface of the maxillary molar. Ab how this maxillary molar ridge is formed? It is formed by the union of a triangular ridge of the distobuccal cusp. जो हमारे maxillary molar का distobuccal cusp होती है, उसकी जो triangular ridge होती है, that and the distal cusp ridge of the mesiolingual cusp, they join together and run obliquely crossing the occlusal surface of maxillary molar. They obliquely cross the surface, as you can see in the picture. Now, what is fossa? Fossa is irregular depression or concavity. As you have seen on the lingual surface of incisor, a concavity is present. So this concavity on the lingual surface of incisor is called the lingual fossa, and there is another type of fossa that is known as the central fossa, and central fossa is formed on the occlusal surface of molar. Now, how this fossa is formed? It is formed by the convergence of ridges. All the ridges that are present, they converge and terminate at the central point where the junction of groove occur on the occlusal surface of the posterior teeth. So this is how the central fossa is formed. As you can see in the picture, in the first picture, a central fossa is seen where all the ridges are terminating at the center point, where all the junction of the grooves is occurring, and in the next picture of the anterior teeth you can see the lingual fossa. It is irregular depression or a concavity present on the surface. Now let's talk about triangular fossa. Triangular fossa is found on molars and premolar on the occlusal surface. So कहाँ मिलेंगे triangular fossa हमें कहाँ मिलता है? Occlusal surface of molar and premolar, and they are either present mesial or distal to the marginal ridges. As you have already known now what are marginal ridges, they are the rounded border of the enamel that form the mesial or the distal margin of the occlusal surface of premolar or molar. So ये जो हमें fossa है ये हमें mesial या distal to the marginal ridge मिलेगा. Sometime you can also found this fossa on the lingual surface of maxillary incisor, and ये हमें कहाँ मिलेगा? At the edge of the lingual fossa. Earlier we have seen that a fossa on the lingual side of the anterior teeth. So ये जो triangular fossa मिलेगा ये हमें उसके edge में मिलेगा where the marginal ridge and the cingulum meets. So we already know the marginal ridge of the anterior and the cingulum of the anterior. So as you can see where the cingulum and the marginal ridge are meeting in the picture, there is some fossa, little small kind of fossa is that form, and that fossa is known as the triangular fossa. Now what is sulcus? Sulcus is a long and a broad depression which you're going to see on the occlusal surface of a posterior teeth. It is present between the ridges and the junction, and you have to note that A sulcus has a developmental groove at the junction of its incline. So जहाँ पर sulcus के inclines का जो junction है वहाँ पर a developmental groove is present, and you don't have to confuse between the two terms, that is sulcus and a groove. Groove we are going to study next, because sulcus is a long and a broad depression, whereas a groove is a shallow line. Now, what are grooves? Grooves is a shallow linear depression on the surface of a tooth. Now, groove is a shallow linear depression, whereas sulcus was a long and a broad depression on the occlusal surface. Now, grooves can be developmental or supplemental. What a developmental groove? Developmental groove is a shallow groove or line between the primary parts of the crown or roots. So developmental groove एक line है between the primary parts of the crown or the root. They can either be buccal, lingual. Now we have to remember that major grooves are named for the surface or the line angle they aim towards. If the groove is aiming towards the buccal surface, is called the buccal groove, and if they are naming towards the lingual surface, then they are known as the lingual groove. Whereas the central groove run mesiodistally, it run from the mesiodistal direction. Next come the supplemental groove. Now what are they? They are less distant than the developmental groove, and they do not mark the junction of primary parts. They are small irregular placed groove not at the junction of lobes or major portion of the teeth, as you can see in the picture. Now what is pit? Pit is a small pinpoint depression, and it is located on the occlusal surface of the posterior teeth. And where it is basically located, it is located at the junction of the developmental groove, or where they are terminating. Now let's talk about the central pit. Central pit is a term that is used to describe a landmark in the central fossa of molar where the developmental grooves join. So you can see at the center of the central fossa where all the developmental grooves are joining, there you can see a small pinpoint depression on the occlusal surface of the molar, that is known as the central pit. Lobe. So lobe is the primary center of growth and calcification. Lobe is basically a center where growth and calcification begins from in the tooth, and the lobes are present during the crown development, and soon they mature into cusp, mamelons and cingulum. We have already seen what is a cusp. It is a elevation or mold found on the occlusal surface, and cingulum is the lingual lobe present on the lingual surface of the anterior teeth. Now, anterior teeth and the mandibular first premolar develop from four lobes, three labial lobe and one lingual lobe, as you can see in the picture. Maxillary premolar and mandibular second premolar develop from five lobes. These lobes are mesial, buccal, distal, mesiolingual, distolingual lobe. And all molars have four lobes, two buccal and two lingual, except the first molars, which usually have the fifth lobe or the minor lobe. So look at this picture. This will give you a very clear idea about the present about the lobes, and it will simplify this for you to remember and memorize. Now let's talk about mamelon. What are mamelon? It's any of the three rounded protuberance found on the incisal ridge of newly erupted incisor teeth. As you can see in the picture, the area marked with the blue color, it is the mamelon present on the incisal ridge, and it is present in the newly erupted incisor teeth. Gradually and slowly, when the process of grinding and everything will take place, these ridge will flatten up. Now all we know that root portion of the crown is firmly fixed in the bony process of jaw, so that each tooth is held in a position related to the other in the dental arch. That portion of the jaw serving as support for the tooth is known as the alveolar process, and the bone of the tooth socket is called alveolus. Now the root can be single rooted, the teeth can be single rooted or multiple rooted. Single rooted teeth, the teeth which only have one root, are maxillary anterior, mandibular anterior, mandibular first and second premolar, and maxillary second premolar. Maxillary first premolar has two roots. Now, next talk about the multiple rooted teeth. Maxillary first premolar, as I already stated, has two roots which are buccal and lingual. Mandibular molar has two roots, mesial and distal, whereas maxillary molars has three roots, mesiobuccal, distobuccal, and lingual. You can see in the picture all the teeth are marked with their roots, whether they are single root, double root, or three roots, as you can see. Before we end, let's do a quick revision. Each tooth has two portions, crown and root, which join each other at cemento-enamel junction. Tooth is formed from four tissues, three hard tissue, enamel, dentine, and cementum, and one soft tissue, pulp. Pulp cavity has two components, pulp chamber and pulp canal. Pulp chamber is present in the crown portion of a tooth, while pulp canal is present in the root portion of the tooth. Now talking about the surface of the tooth, incisor and canine has four surface and one ridge. The surface are labial, mesial, distal, lingual, and the incisal surface is considered as ridge in case of the anteriors. And molar and premolar has five surfaces: occlusal, buccal, mesial, distal, and lingual. Now the other landmarks we have studied is cusp, as you know, elevation on the crown portion; tubercle, a small elevation which can be seen in some portion on the crown; cingulum, a lingual lobe present on the lingual surface of the anterior tooth; a ridge, linear elevation on the surface of a tooth. Now next come the marginal ridges. It is the rounded border of the enamel that form the mesial and the distal margin of the occlusal surface of premolar and the molar, and mesial and distal surface of the lingual surface of incisor and canine. Now the triangular ridge is the one which form when it descends from the tip of the cusp of molar and premolar towards the center part of the occlusal surface. Then a transverse ridge where two triangular ridges meet transversely crossing the occlusal surface of the posterior teeth. Oblique ridge is seen on the maxillary molar. Then come a fossa. It is an irregular depression or concavity. We have talked about the lingual fossa, the central fossa, and sometimes the triangular fossa, which are found in the molar and premolar on the occlusal surface, mesial or distal to the marginal ridge. Now, what is sulcus? Is a long depression or valley in the surface of the tooth between the ridge and the cusp. A developmental groove is a shallow groove or line between the parts of the crown or root. Pits, what are pits? They are small pinpoint depression located on the occlusal surface. A lobe is one of the primary section of formation in the developmental of crown, and we have talked about the roots. If you found this video useful and informative, kindly comment, share and like. Bye bye till the next time we meet.